What is going on, YouTube? My name is Randy, and you are watching the Randy Talks Mets channel, where you get your latest Mets media, everything you know about the New York Mets on this channel. Definitely, guys, this is a series that we're doing. Will the Mets trade this player? And we're going to start today with will the Mets trade Ronny Mauricio, the up-and-coming prospect? We know he's going to be 25 in April. He didn't have the best year. He had a very, very weird year. We're going to get into it, but definitely do me a favor. Before we get into it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Now, let's get right into this video here. And we're going to start with the stats in 2025. The stats in 2025, 226 batting average, 6 home runs, 10 RBIs, an on-base percentage of 289, 662 OPS, and then 54 strikeouts in 168 at-bats. And that is not what you want out of the kid, Ronny Mauricio, soon to be 25-year-old in April. This is a guy that he was lighting the world on fire in Double-A, coming off the torn ACL. He missed a year and a half of baseball. He missed all of 2024. But this is a guy, to me, Ronny Mauricio, that still has potential. He still has potential. In 2025, he got called up because Mark Vientos got injured, and he was lighting the world on fire for those 5 games in AAA, hitting for a high OPS and absolutely hitting bombs. But AAA is AAA. Major leagues is the major leagues. Major leagues, we see that major leagues is a big deal. That is a big difference from a AAA, from a AA. And some hitters need time to adjust. Now, when they called up Ronny Mauricio, this kid looked exposed. He didn't look good. They called him up in the Colorado Rockies series, and he was just striking out. He did get he got a hit there, but he was striking out a lot, and he was chasing the ball down a lot. They were just feeding him, breaking stuff, feeding him, breaking stuff. And taking advantage of a free swinger, because that is what Ronny Mauricio is. He is a free swinger. But then you saw better at-bats later on in that year. You saw him talking to Juan Soto. And you saw him having better at-bats with plate discipline, walking more. You know, he would hit the ball hard. When he hits the ball hard, he hits the ball hard a lot for high exit velocity. That is what makes the ceiling for Ronny Mauricio so great. It's the high exit velocity that he hits with. I still believe in Ronny Mauricio, but the kid needs work. The kid needs work. A 227 to 226 batting average, 6 home runs, 10 RBIs, 289 on base percentage, in 54 strikeouts. That's not going to cut it in the major leagues. And Ronny Mauricio didn't get a lot of playing time, a lot of consistent playing time, because of the shuffle with Brett Baty, with a Mark Vientos, with a Ronny. It was 3 guys that they were trying to plug into a lineup. But Ronny Mauricio wasn't getting the consistent playing time that a young player needs. But when he was getting some playing time, he did struggle. Like I said, he struck out many, many times, was chasing many, many times. And the big thing with him is, like I said, the chasing. He has to work on that. But he also has to work on hitting that ball left field, because that's what I saw. I saw a kid that I'm like, wait a minute. Ronny has the potential to be a high prospect, high ceiling prospect, but he's missing something. And that is his ability to hit the ball the other way to left field rather than just pull the ball. Because if you like, not everybody could be just a pull hitter. Not everybody could be a Kyle Schwarber. But a guy like Ronny Mauricio, a young talent, soon to be 25-year-old, that's a guy that can hit the ball the other way. We saw it with Brett Baty. We seen it with Mark Vientos. He can do it. Ronny, I know he can do it. but he hasn't done it yet. He hasn't done it yet. And we didn't get to see Ronny a whole bunch, but when we did, he struggled. But he did have some big home runs. You remember that home run in San Francisco? I mean, off Camille Duvall. Huge home run. Huge. And that was to the water, man. That was a bomb. A bomb. And then you saw the home run with Robert Suarez in San Diego. Clutch home runs. This is why I feel like this is a talent that he just needs work, but he can be a special talent. He has the ability. You look at a guy like Ronny Mauricio, a lot of teams like him because of his size, because of his power. And his power is really, really great. Plus power Ronny Mauricio has. Like I said, he hits with exit velocity, high exit velocity. So will the Mets trade Ronny Mauricio in a package? Maybe. Especially because of my last video, the emergence of Brett Beatty and what he did in 2025. He had a really good year, but he also played defensively really good. And he was looking better. But Ronny, to me, I just don't want Met fans to forget about Ronny Mauricio. I don't want Met fans to forget because I feel that this kid could be special. But he has a lot to work on. And I think he needs to go to AAA and start the year in AAA and work there for at least 4 months. Because this kid needs work. And the 0.83 batting average against lefties, that is another thing that Ronny Mauricio has to work on. Hitting left-handed pitchers. A 0.83 batting average, that's not going to cut it. And it was what? It was like a 20-something at-bats. But that's not going to cut it. And I think when it comes to the New York Mets, they got to tell this kid, Ronny, yo, you got to work on that. Or he just has to abandon hitting right-handed. Cedric Mullins did it. He wasn't hitting good from the right side and the left side. So he abandoned the right side. Not every player is going to do that. I get it. But I think Ronny should consider it. Because from the left side, he looks a lot better. He looks a lot balanced. He hits the ball hard. But also, you're not going to get better if you don't face these guys. And the Mets didn't give a lot of opportunities for Ronny Mauricio to face left-handed pitchers because of how bad he looked. And I get it. I completely understand that. So this kid has a lot of value still in my book. And I think in many, many teams' books. Because Ronny just looks like an exciting player. And I still believe he's going to be special. Whether he's going to be special here with the New York Mets or he's going to be special somewhere else. But I think he is going to be special. I just want Met fans and baseball fans to just give him some time. And let him breathe. Let him learn. Let him get better. That is what I feel I want Met fans to do. And the Mets to do. Because you can keep him in AAA. There's a reason why the Mets didn't call him down. They didn't send him down to AAA after he got called up because they didn't have the option to. They didn't have the option. Because if they would have sent him down, they would have lost that option. And there would have been no more options for Ronny Mauricio. So you wouldn't have been able to have him for the next year in AAA. But good thing that they did. Good thing that they did. They did keep that option. But they did a disservice to this kid. They did a complete disservice to this kid. The playing time, putting him as a bench player, the way they used him. If you wanted him to be a pitch runner or pitch hitter, how about you use him to be a pitch hitter? And the Mets didn't do that. They put him to the back burner. They put him to the back burner and they just left him there. And then in the last couple of games, they saw that Mark Vientos' defense wasn't enough. Wasn't good. So they put Ronny Mauricio in there, who hasn't played in barely a month. The way the organization handled Ronny Mauricio, to me, this season was a mistake. Because they didn't use him. They didn't really use him. The kid still had power. There were many times where I said, yo, why not put him as the pitch hitter here? Why not pitch hit him? But you want to pitch hit Cedric Mullins in a big spot rather than Ronny Mauricio, who could probably hit you a home run. It is what it is. It is what it is. The kid does need work, but I believe in the kid. I believe in the kid. Let me know if you do too. Let's get into our last thing that we're going to talk about, and that is run prevention. We know that Stearns, he values run prevention and values the defense. Ronny posted a +4 out above average and a +5 defensive run saved. And he's better at third base. This is a guy that his defense was the best on the team. It was better than Brett Beatty. It was better than Mark Vientos. It was better than any third baseman that they have. So the fact that you want to talk about run prevention and defense, I think the fact that he is such a good defender, this is going to keep Ronny Mauricio here with the Mets. I think Stearns still values Ronny Mauricio. And you saw that with the urgency, or not even just not even, they didn't send him down. They wanted to keep that option for the next year. Because they like the kid. They like what they saw. They see the potential in the kid. And I mean, +5 defensive run save, that is awesome. Awesome for Ronny Mauricio. I know he has a lot to work on his offense. I get it. But his defense is really good. According to the defensive metrics. Ronny, to me, is a guy I'm not giving up on. Ronny, to me, is a guy that plays better at third base. Because at second base, he's not that great. He doesn't have the same range as third base. I believe it's -1 in defensive run saved. Or -2 in defensive run saved and -1 in outs above average. So that is something that the Mets have to consider with Ronny Mauricio. Who is going to be the third baseman? Who is going to take that charge? We saw Brett Beatty do it. But can he do it for 2026? Can they take the risk in Brett Beatty in 2026 and believe that he's going to do it again? That he's going to have a better year? I like Ronny. I still believe in him. And Ronny needs a lot of work. But when he does get that work, when he does feel like himself, because also he was coming off the torn ACL and the speed didn't look great. It looked like he wasn't even trying to run much. That play against the Phillies, Mark Viento's double. Ronny could have probably scored from first base. I know a lot of people thought he could score, but his sprint speed went down from like 60 something to like 14, 12. And I feel this is because he was holding back. He didn't want to run hard. And hopefully that gets better in 2026. And I get it. He wanted to take it easy. I understand. The way it looked just like that. You could tell when a guy is not running hard. And Ronny, to me, wasn't running hard. And I get it. I completely understand. His offense needs to get better. His defense is really, really good. We will see what the Mets do with Ronny Mauricio. We got the offseason coming. World Series is going to be almost over. Like 5 more games or whatever. But once that's over, we're gonna hear some rumblings. We're gonna hear some rumors. But I really hope Ronny Mauricio doesn't get traded, because I feel he's a special talent. I still feel that way, and I'm not changing what I feel. That's honestly how I feel. I feel that Ronnie's special. Do you feel he is special, and do you want to trade him? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on Randy Talk Mets on Twitter, on X, and then you can follow me on TikTok, Randy Talks Mets, and obviously you can subscribe here on the channel on YouTube, Randy Talks Mets. I'm going to get out of here. Enjoy your Monday, guys. Let's go, Mets.